Hello viewers, welcome to MBTV Weekly Property Roundup, your favorite show where we bring to you top developments from Indian real estate space, which is going to have a lasting impact on you as consumer. I'm Prasoon Kumar, Marketing Head of Magic Bricks, and with me is Jashri Kurup, Senior Real Estate Journalist and Editor-in-Chief of MBTV. Welcome, Jashri.
Thanks, Prasun.
So we are seeing a lot of positive developments happening, Jayashree. The first being the one of the largest stuck projects, which was Amrapali's project in Noida. Supreme Court now has asked SBI Capital to fund six Amrapali Group housing projects. What does it mean for all those consumers who have been waiting for their homes for so long?
Actually, SBI Cap has been directed to pay fund the project, and when they did, since they're taking 100% of the risk, that means they have to give an internal IRR of 12%. But they found only six housing projects of the Amrapali Group, which they said were viable. So the Supreme Court has said if these six are viable, start funding them, and that's a step forward. At least the work begins. So that's something that that is going to be good for them. I think it's a step forward.
Has there been any deadline or something that has given to these six projects to be completed?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. Looking at the saga of uncompleted projects, now government had set up that stress fund that obviously SBI Caps has been managing, and the news is that government out of that stress fund has already cleared about 10,000 crores for about 101 realty projects to be completed, and these are spread across cities throughout the country. So now do we see a lot of these stuck projects moving towards completion, a lot of ready to move in properties coming on the supply side on the market?
Absolutely, Prasoon. I think more than the supply side, it's the people who've been waiting for over 10, 12 years who are going to over 71,000 consumers are going to benefit from that 10,000 crore that has been given to by the Swami Fund. Very quickly, for those who don't understand it, the government of India has created this consortium led by SBI Caps, where there is 25,000 crore fund, which is an the last mile funding that is going to be given. And out of this fund was created sometime in November, but it hadn't been given out. The first tranche of 7,800 crores was announced. Now 10,000 crore has been announced. Clearly, we are moving in the direction of let's get those houses complete, whether it is from the RERAs, from the fund lenders, from the government and the Supreme Court. I think everybody is now saying that whatever it takes to get those legacy projects completed and consumers get their houses. So I think it's a great step forward.
Sure. And staying around in UP, now UP RERA has urged the state government to let all home buyers, promoters, housing societies, etc., clear their charges basis MCLR. Now, how is this going to help the construction and the developers?
Even projects that were complete could not be registered because there were pending dues, and these dues for various reasons. Some of it was land dues because the land was supposed to be paid in installments and those installments had not been paid. Some of them were disputes between the authority, the zero period that we spoke about, that zero period was not given, and that kind of thing. Now, what happened was authorities used to charge a penal interest of about 18 to 20% on whatever is the disputed amount. And as a result, it snowballed into such phenomenal amounts that there was no way anyone could pay it. And even when projects were completed, consumers could not register their projects. So the Supreme Court recently, when it was giving the Amrapali judgment, it said that whatever we're giving here right now, all development authorities should charge all penal interest only at 8%, MCLR plus 1. Now, that is what the UP RERA has said. The state government needs to enact that notification so that this can be done. It's a great step forward. It again streamlines the process of completing and handing over projects to consumers.
Sure. And in Noida, again, the Noida Authority has extended the deadline for about 12 odd developers to complete their pending projects by December 2021 under the zero period policy. Can you just explain for our viewers what was this zero period policy and what is the importance of this?
This is another step towards getting the legacy dues cleared. If they finish their projects by June 2021, there was the zero periods when they could not construct and all that would be waived off, and they would be able to clear their dues at a reasonable cost. But because of the COVID, we lost about 6 months, right? So they have been given another 6 months. So if they complete those projects by December 2021, they will get the zero period benefits. It's again a positive move. I think clearly everyone wants those projects just completed and handed over.
Yes.
And that's very positive for the consumers, Prasun. I think the consumers should understand that now the entire system is working towards completion and handover.
That's right. And we do see the entire policy machinery, the entire government machinery and everything now coming together and, taking steps to make things easier and making projects getting completed.
Yeah.
Now, at the same point of time, Jayashree, because it's a rainy season and we have been hearing about a lot of, buildings collapsing, unsafe structures. We have heard that about in Mumbai and in a lot of other places. Now, the news came that about 100 odd buildings in Ghaziabad were marked unsafe, and there are about 500 odd residents living there. Now, from a town planning and management perspective, how frequently these things are done, and how effective is this entire process?
Prasun, the thing is that any development authority home, unlike a builder home, they only build and hand over. Now, random people buy it, very diverse range of people buy it, and there has been no asset maintenance after it was given. Now, Magic Bricks has been, MBTV has been following the story. We've just put up the link of our story. Our correspondent Shilpi Dudeja had raised this issue 1 year ago. Two apartment complexes where the houses are completely decrepit. Because the authority says that we can help them put it all together, but they have to pay for it. They haven't looked after their assets for about 20-25 years, and now they're complaining that the GDA has built it. The same thing last week we picked up that the balconies of a DDA flat fell down. The same thing, that assets are not maintained. And if you don't maintain assets, just water seeping in and the Saria, expanding, the whole building can collapse, right? And that's what's happening. Now, Ghaziabad, because we had a spate of building collapses, poor quality and poor maintenance are both responsible. We are running a campaign. In fact, next week, we're running a show on this, why assets need to be maintained to protect human life. And we will have some experts in, and we will definitely be talking about this. But the point is that we raised these issues a year ago. Nothing seems to happen after that. The structural audit has been done. If the buildings are unsafe, how can you let people stay there? You have to evacuate. But that is not being done.
But for these development authority constructions and buildings, do they not have an RWA formed after things are handed over?
In some cases they are, but now it's mandatory. But these are 20-25 years old. That time it was not mandatory, and now the condition of the houses are rather poor, and the only option is to tear it down and rebuild it, or do serious structural retrofitting. That's not happening.
Sure. Okay. Very interesting news came, Jayashree, from Telangana, and we have been hearing about this. These kind of things happening in other countries. But Telangana government now is announcing that a new technology will let them deliver 2 BHK homes in 40 days, a 10-story building in 40 days. Quite unheard of in India, but beginning of a good trend.
Absolutely. I think if you remember last year, the government of India had started this Global Technology Housing Challenge, where global technologies were asked to come and create 6 lighthouse projects in India. Telangana was one of the places where the lighthouse project was created. And now clearly adoption is starting, where you're saying that instead of, why does the cost go up so much? Why do consumers struggle so much? Because we take too long to build. Our approval process our approvals process is weak. Our construction process is very manual, and that's why it takes so long. Now, these new technologies are something that will speed up the pace of construction, and maybe, consumers are looking for completed houses with zero risk, right? If you're taking only 40 days to build, then why not construct the project, complete the project, get funding for the project, and then sell, because complete.
Of course, Singapore is going to complete a 100-story building with prefabricated material
Yeah.
in the shortest possible time. So there's no reason why those things can't happen here, because the technology is available.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So great. Some very, very positive developments that happened over last 6-7 days. We will come back with more important news of this week, which is going to make an impact in your life. Till then, keep watching MBT.
Thank you.